Welcome to Caliente Tech Talk, everybody. I am Service Manager Derek. With me again this evening is
Bill, Chris.
All right, they are so speaking of what they want, so enthused. I'm going to jump right into the questions this week because we got a couple of doozies. Where can I get a replacement nut that holds the Jiffy stand on? Springs are everywhere, but I just need the nut washer. Only ones I found with the entire Jiffy stand replacement. Thank you to anyone that can help.
Well, need a little more information.
Your make and model definitely helps.
Absolutely.
So if it's, I'm just going to throw out there, let's say it's any sort of Harley-Davidson touring bike, then I would imagine the Jiffy stand comes up, they're talking about the nut and the lock plate on those, and you can get those at any Harley-Davidson parts department.
Right.
So I don't have a real good answer for you. If you do ask a question about your specific bike, tell us what the specific bike is.
And we might be able to help.
If it's any other thing, go to your local bolt store. Bolt and nut and see if they got anything.
Bolts are us.
Bolts are us, yeah. Or go to,
Literally call your
Lowe's, Home Depot.
Oh, you're killing me.
Hey, when you need to get your bike going again.
That's true.
And you're in a pinch, you can't find anything.
Good point.
Almost every big city has a nut and bolt store. Literally, it's all they sell is nuts and bolts.
What's that other one?
Fastenal. That's where you were.
You
I was waiting for you to get there. I know. I was waiting for it. It's all good.
You can call and talk to Carla.
But this brings up a good little point. When you are asking these kind of questions, the year and the model, if you're talking Harley, and if you're not make, that's very important. People at the parts counter can get very confused if you don't provide that info. So know your bike.
Not talking about Harley, let us know.
Let us know.
We can possibly do the research.
Oh yeah, we can get tires and things for aftermarket bikes, metrics. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so there you go. I don't have a good answer for you other than give me some more information. Maybe we can help and talk to your parts department at a dealership. This person asked multiple questions.
So many.
I know. They just, I don't know how to pronounce this. Seth Rao. I don't know. Whatever.
I think that guy bought a shirt though.
Did he?
He did. Yeah,
oh, this was the sweatshirt guy. Okay. If I put an exhaust system on a Pan America, do I need to reflash the ECM? Well, we've all done that to ours. Well, slip on. I just did a slip on.
Yeah, I did.
Well,
slip on, but
I got rid of the can.
So I went after. I think I'm the only one.
Was
ours in the voice?
Was ours an actual slip-on? I think we went a little bit deeper, didn't we?
Well, no, even the Screaming Eagle's a little bit deeper.
It takes the resonator box out or whatever it is.
The canner.
But it still has all the
weight.
It still has the cats in it and all that. So
no,
not on a Pan Am.
No, not on a Pan Am.
If you do a full exhaust, possibly, but I don't even know if there's product out there.
I don't know if there is a full exhaust.
I don't know. I haven't seen one yet. So.
Oh, welcome to the show, voice. Sorry, I always skip you.
My bad.
So, first thing you got to do is buy the Pan America, and then we can figure that out.
Yeah.
This one is probably a Phil type question.
Oh.
Is the FXR the greatest Harley ever made?
It was at its time, even though when it came out, everybody absolutely hated them because they hated change.
That's kind of a theme with Harley owners, isn't it?
Oh, man, does that mean like 20 years down the road, Pan America is going to be the greatest Harley that's ever?
It is a great bike. The frame, amazing, and that's why now they base 2 frames off of the FXR.
So is it the greatest Harley ever made? Ever made.
That is up
My thing is they made a snowmobile at one time. So
they made golf carts.
They made golf carts. I got a picture of myself on a 3-wheel.
This shirt might be the greatest Harley ever made.
It's certainly up there, probably in the top.
The FXR.
What was the one that went to World War II that had like a 50 cal mounted on the side of it? That seems like a pretty cool one.
Yeah. The FXR chassis was impressive, and it still exists in some form, even in kind of the new bikes.
There's now non-Harley companies building the FXR frame.
Yeah.
So,
I would say top 3. It would be my top 3. But my top 1 is Sportster.
it's so personal.
Minus the other bike that we won't mention tonight.
The FXR is the greatest Harley made. That's like is so and so the most beautiful woman. It's so personal.
Yeah,
it's so personal. Preference. Yours that you own is the greatest one ever made. So what Bolton Cam do you recommend for an Evo? Ooh, I don't even ride these old bikes, but I have an opinion on it. Go ahead.
The 22. EV20, what is it? The EV22?
27.
EV20.
So we're on the Andrews EV27. Great Bolton Cam, in my opinion, is the predecessor to the 211 twin cams. Had it in my bike. Great drop-in cam. Andrews EV27. Rock it all day. Chris, your opinion on the Evo? Exactly. So
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You get old. My oldest bike was a 2000, and that was a Sportster. So I'm out.
Yeah, EV27, great
EV27
drop-in
is a great
cam. And this one, I think this is for Chris. Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Absolutely 100%. And I'm saying that as the old man sitting at the table.
The 40 pluses over here.
Yeah, you're so young and yeah. Have you lost it? Or do you still have it?
Oh, I still have it.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm still using it, borderline daily.
My problem is I never had it, so it doesn't really matter whether or not it's still there. So thank you for your smart-ass questions out there from internet
And
land.
the one or
We
two
do-
real questions.
Yeah, the real questions are nice, but we also like the
Although we can apply that question to like ESP.
Oh,
You know,
Oh,
can
you
wrap
want
it
to make
around.
this official?
Yeah.
Boys, good.
Official.
So if you don't have it, if you don't use it, do you lose it with ESP? Well, it expires.
It
It
expires.
does
So
expire, but if you don't use it,
Guess
right
what you can
before
do?
you can
I say
get all that money. Not all.
Not
the
all.
money,
No,
but
it's
get-
prorated.
we try to reach out to our customers 30 days before because exactly that reason. If you don't come in and it doesn't matter if we find something,
Yeah.
we can use it
So
before you lose
You
it.
can also
I don't-
re-up your ESP, and
Absolutely.
it's cheaper.
did we
and
explain what
faster.
ESP is? We're using acronyms here.
My bad.
Extended service plan.
Okay, so some people call it a warranty. It's not a warranty. It's kind of like an insurance policy. It has some rules to it, but you purchase that when you're buying the bike to give you that added coverage beyond factory warranty. Things for mechanical, tire and wheel, and in our shop, in all Harley shops, using the Harley one, we use it quite often for customers that need help with that stuff. And yes, you can re-up it. So if you don't use it, you lose it. But if you do use it, you lose it once a certain time comes up. So it kind of works, kind of doesn't. But I like how you twisted it back into our industry. Oh wait, I'm talking too much.
Oh, this
Excuse me,
is
Derek.
a Harley commercial.
I believe that your extended warranty is up.
Who is this? How'd you get this number?
Derek, you have a bent wheel. What do you do?
I did have a bent wheel. I bent a wheel, and my ESP covered it. It was broken spoke bent wheel, and they
how
covered
much
it.
did you pay on that $1,500 wheel and tire?
$50. 50.
That's what
I was gonna say that's a thing that I think like a lot of customers don't realize. Like if you come in and you have a newer bike or you have an ESP or something like that, we are by far more than happy to go absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's warranty or that's ESP.
It's work.
Let's do it.
It's work,
We like it.
and you know,
and your deductible is most likely $50.
$50
and
more.
and mention it if you're coming in for basic maintenance. I came in for a K service. Mention you have ESP because your technician is looking at it and they go, oh, we already know it's an ESP claim because we've got something wrong we find while we're doing the service. We'll let you know. We'll get it covered rather than they go through the trouble of building this huge quote. You get a phone call from the service ride and like, hey, we found this rocker box leak. It's going to be $480. You're like, oh, I have warranty. Tell them when you bring it in, man. We'll get it all done right then. That's the whole point of that thing.
It's going to take a little bit more time. We found a couple things. It's going to cost you $50.
And even if you don't have it, there are some rules. You can only go back, I think, 11 calendar years. You can't over 60,000 miles. But if you're under those, you can actually purchase that additionally for your existing Harley and get that kind of coverage. So if you're not familiar or you don't know about it, or you bought a bike from a friend or from someone on Craigslist or on the street or whatever, and you're like, man, I don't know anything about this bike, go talk to a dealership because they can actually sell you one as a standalone product.
And we're sounding like a commercial.
God
again.
dang it, it's a commercial again. I'm sorry. It's what we know.
All right,
Well,
so
we're
tonight's
trying to help you guys out.
so tonight's episode is tires.
Tires.
Tires. And what about them?
Personal preferences on tires.
I approve of them.
Good. You?
I need them on my motorcycle.
Yeah, perfect. I'll go a little bit more in depth. Harley, Kawasaki, Honda, they all do extensive researches on the tires that they put on their motorcycles. Stock tires are great tires.
You can change if you want, but they do just like the suspension, Harley. They spend millions
talking
of dollars
tires.
doing suspensions and
But we're
tires.
talking tires.
And well, I understand that, but it's the same. They spend a lot of money
I
testing
have
these
Doing
things.
research on the
Yes.
tires and testing
Biggest,
them.
biggest thing with tires, tire pressure.
amen,
Tire
brother.
pressure.
Amen, brother.
And for those of you with TPMS sensors on your motorcycle, if the light goes off, check tire pressure first.
Yep.
First thing to do.
First thing you do.
And the age of the tire can make it a little bit of a problem.
Yes.
Right.
They get hard.
You know,
Mhm.
at about 6 to 7 years, I start recommending, hey, you got good tread, but your tires should be replaced.
They start to get hard. The tread depth is very important. It strongly affects the rideability of the bike.
Especially,
Get yourself a
especially in
penny.
inclement weather.
Get yourself a penny, stick in your tread. If you see Abraham Lincoln's head, your tread's low.
In Texas, it's minimum 230 seconds. That's where the cutoff is. So, tire brand. I mean, we've tried a bunch of. It is a lot of personal. Voice, you got something to say on that one?
I would say a lot has to do with style, how you ride.
Exactly. That's a big part of it.
If you want to, I don't know, we've dealt with this recently. If you want a super aggressive tire that's super sticky, can it last forever?
Usually they don't last that long.
Oh, okay, that's how it is.
Yeah, it's one of those. There's a little bit of compromise, give and take. When you want the super high mileage tires, they tend to be a little harder. Therefore, they may be a little more slippery, especially when they're cold. But they last. They can last longer, and it also depends on your riding style. I mean, there's some folks that'll blow through a tire in 8,000 miles because they're riding 2-up, fully loaded, pulling a trailer, which they shouldn't do. Straight line on the highway, 1,000 mile, 1,000 mile, 1,000 mile, and their tires are dead soon. Shocking. And then there's other ones that are just out carving corners like crazy, and the center line looks just fine on the bike.
Especially the metric guys.
Right.
You're a big one on that.
If we're riding adventure bikes and want to run knobbies for off-road, that's great. But guess what happens when you're running 100 miles an hour down the freeway all the time to your knobby tire?
They don't like it.
Don't like it. They tear up fast, so your tire preference doesn't really matter if you're using it incorrectly.
But just do your research. And it's personal preference, some of it,
and
for sure.
Price is a big factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get what you pay for.
Don't run a radial and a bias ply. Make sure your
I don't like mixing them.
Make sure your tires somewhat match.
I've had issues with baggers. They get the wobbles.
Weed when they have mismatched bias ply.
I was gonna say, when we had Tigers and we went down to Baja, we purposely swapped out our normal riding tires to brand new Shinkos because, one, they're a little bit cheaper.
Sure.
They have a shorter lifespan, but we knew that.
Yeah.
And we had actually calculated it out that our trip there and back was a set of tires. So we were like, well, instead of burning the ones that we have, we bought a new, cheaper set of tires. Went down, came back, swapped them back. Everything was perfect.
And a lot of it just depends on the kind of riding you're going to do and how you can do it. The new Shinko 999s that are out. One of my service riders is using it as a test case, and he did Sturgis last year. He's still running them. He's really enjoying them. So even brands change over time. A tire you used to think had a lot of problems, it may not anymore. Things have changed. I'm a big fan of, like you said, the OE tires. I've been a Dunlop guy for a long time. Some of you know me. There's a Dunlop tattoo on my arm from back in the day when I liked their 207s. It's a good tire. But they can also make crap tires here and there. Everybody does. I'm running the Trail Maxes on my Pan Am right now. Love them. A little bit louder road noise than I'm used to on the stock ones or the Pirellis I was running, but the Trail Max does really good performance on off-road. It's personal preference.
Well, sometimes you're looking for like Shinko makes a wider white wall on certain size tires that nobody else does.
Yeah. Avon, if you're looking for a certain look, you got to keep that in mind as well.
Or a certain size tire. You start getting bigger wheels. Only certain companies are making those.
Yeah, you start limiting your choices.
Yeah, and depending on the maker and everything like that, like we had for the Bonnevilles, Avon was the primary tire maker, and then they actually started to try and make tires for the Tiger, and the Tiger tires actually started to delaminate.
Oh, wow.
And so we had to kind of train everybody that was looking at those, like going across the line, that we're like, hey, we should look at something else. We're having some issues.
But Chris, you're right. Tire pressure is the most important thing. And speaking of that, we know there's a little number on the sidewall that'll have max PSI. Does that have any bearing for you guys when you're filling up tires?
Sure.
It does? Not for me.
No.
I'm going with the manufacturer of the motorcycle said the tire pressure should be. You don't want to overinflate, true, but that is not the number to set it to. That's car, bike, anything else.
Was probably running about 80 psi. I had to go get my truck tire pressure gauge to actually see what was in there.
Yeah.
No.
And for all of you with TPMS sensors, once you get, I want to say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 psi over the Harley recommended tire pressure, it just comes up. It just doesn't read anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They just go blank. So if you got TPMS on your bike and your rear's reading but your front's not, and you just added tire pressure, check. I had one that was the front tire or the rear tire was at 56 and it wasn't reading.
Yeah, it just blanked out. So you think there's something wrong with your system.
The sensor's broken. It's not. It just once it gets above a certain pressure, it just says, I'm not here.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Your pressures are very important, much like your oil levels.
Tech talk into the tech talk.
Yeah, you're deep dive in the tech stuff. But yeah, for me, tires, it's good quality, keeping it pressured correctly, and then how you treat the tire. I mean,
Don't armor all your.
oh God, don't ever
Don't
armor all your tires. I don't care who told you what or what you think you should do. Don't ever shine and armor all a motorcycle tire.
Pushing it on a trailer, pushing it off the show, and pushing it back on. Fine.
Even then, you're going to drop the damn thing. Don't armor all your tires. If you take nothing else away,
because it makes them super slick.
They fall down. Do not armor all tires.
Really expensive after that.
So yeah, good point. It's nice to be flashy and look good, but no, it's hospital visits are not fun. So don't do that. And if you do it, we recommend you replace the tire because you can't get that crap off once it's on there. It is in it. So
and then if you get the brakes, it's just a big mess.
Bad. It's all bad. Clean your wheels, and then that's it. I would agree.
Yeah, I think that was
Did we exhaust tires?
I think we exhausted tires.
Well, I'm sure somebody's going to come back with a question.
They will, and they'll have all these reasons as to why this tire is better than that tire, and I always laugh at that because I'm like, yeah, just change your tires when you need to change your tires. Don't plug them. Think of plugs like the little donut in your trunk on your car. It's to get you to the place to fix the tire. You'll tell, and I know you all come out, I've run a plug for blah, blah. Good for you. That's awesome, but it's trying to come apart on you. Don't. It is a patch to get you
off the
there.
Trailer, off the shoulder to the dealership.
And if you even research it with your tire manufacturers, they will tell you there are some patches they may let slide, but it involves removing the tire completely, patching it from the inside to reinforce it. Never the licorice stick through. Yeah, that is a temporary fix. And you got two tires with contact patches that big keeping you safe, and you want to compromise one, good luck to you. I am not a fan, and I will argue with a customer all day on that as all I need is a tube or all I need to do is put a no, we're not doing that. We're replacing them. It's just not worth your health or life. My opinion, but I'm right in this case.
Especially when the technician doing it is held responsible.
Yeah, we're terrified of that. We want to keep you safe on the road. So don't. That is a temporary, I'm getting to where I'm going. And if you go to your tire manufacturer and read about that, they will usually say you are limited on speed as well. They kind of keep you under 55 miles an hour kind of thing with that. It is a temporary fix. No, I looked at Dunlop motorcycle tires, and they had the same thing with those. So just, keep it in mind. So we deal with a lot of tires every day. We change them constantly. We use them on the ESP. We talked about you pick up a nail, we replace the tire. Usually what I see is improper inflation and just mistreatment is the thing that wears them out the fastest. The rest of it is, keep good new tires on your bike and you'll be safe. Absolutely. Do you agree?
Ditto.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to say much on that one. So yeah, let's ride. Thanks again. This was a good episode on tires. Please send your questions, comments in, and we will discuss in future episodes.
Bye.
Please subscribe. Later.